that glove at in his truck and said that let's go over here and take the furniture uh, and put it in the dumpster. And I didn't need to go with him to do that. I think oh, that's the day we went to the store. And so all of a sudden he needed to go do that. So he took me to another U-Haul and put that glove. When I opened the door, I seen the big glove. And I just started praying to myself. So he would do stuff like that to aggravate because he knew what I said. And then he did when they said I ordered nails the day that I ordered this tablet pack, and I ordered the uh, writing thing. I mean the stylus. That day he did it too. I went and got my stuff, and he had came over here, and I had went and got my stuff, and I went to go get my stylus pens, and they made it look like they put on Amazon. They put the little funny shaped screwdriver with a big head on it. It was real fat and a little point. It looked like a. Shut up, Crystal! Don't you say that. So they put that on Amazon and the tools, and I wasn't looking up for no tools. And then when he picked me up that day, they put the same little screwdriver on the seat, and I did everything in my power not to put my hands on it, so I wouldn't have to touch it and put my fingerprints on it. And he did that too. So, and so I started noticing that whenever I be talking to him in the truck, people would call to keep the conversation down. That's they method to keep you from saying something they don't want to record or don't want to on a conversation. They're gonna call, and so they would call. They would call him and keep him on the phone. But he was doing stuff. He was doing stuff all alone. And I just wanted to like him because I wanted to build a trust because they kept saying it ain't like what you thinking. And they kept tricking me. Well, acting like they were tricking me. They weren't tricking me. Because my plan was always to build until the FBI come. I'm building till they come. Because if they not coming, then that means they have plans. And I'm going to just write what I'm doing. I might not build it necessarily, but I'm going to just write what I see till they come. If they don't come, then I just been writing. If they do come, then I have it all wrote down. What happened? What I seen. I don't have to turn it into a crime, but do I feel like I should stop writing altogether? No. I don't even know if I really can do that. I don't know because I don't have no outlet. You gotta have, and you got trauma and a lot of stuff going on in your life. You gotta have an outlet. You gotta write, journal, read, exercise. You gotta do something because it's energy that has to be expressed. And that's why stress turns into so many different things because it's the energy that forms in your body and you have to be able to express it. You cannot hold it in. You cannot just stay stressed because it will build formations. The energies in your body. And this is where it's easy for me to go green because if you really know what we'll be able to do with science in the future, is it's your diseases will be color coded. And this is because science is. And if you think I'm nuts, then I want you to take your brilliant self and I want you to go and stand in the front of those COVID TVs, that machine, that robot that is taking your temperature, that is color. All of that on that screen is different colors that's making that robot have that ability in layman's terms. And your healthcare is going to that level. So that once your body detects color, it will show up on testing that way. And in some ways it's already doing that. When they look and do a procedure or whatever, they look and say, oh, this shows up this way or this show up that way. It will be more advanced when it comes down to certain illnesses like cancer, um, and other more serious diseases. So when it comes down to that, that's what that is. That's why I say that. That's where that's going. So, um, and that will be good because then basically you're being able to detect diseases early on. Now, some doctors may not want you to be able to do that because they may say, if you do that, we ain't getting no more money. But technically, yes. Technically, no. Because at first, that ability may be very expensive. And it still may be that only the rich can pay for that testing because of how expensive the equipment is. So if a doctor got to shell out so many, hospitals got to pay millions of dollars to get that equipment, insurance may say, well, to run that test costs this, then we ain't gonna offer that unless you got this, that, and other. But this is why I go to saying the whole healthcare system needs to change so that those that it could prevent, but then once you already got certain things, then that testing at first can say, okay, it's only for this, that, and the other. But this is why the preventative side needs to change, you know. And like I said, once that healthcare reform roll out, it will be still similar to what it is. Because basically, you have the ability to see disease in any form in real as it is. You'll be able to catch cancer at the onset because you could see where it's starting to form based on AI projection. And I'm saying that because basically you only go to the doctor when something is bad. Well, if something don't get bad until it's at this level, imagine what you could have seen if you seen it already starting. So just like you look and it be a weather forecast and they say, okay, we see rain gonna come at such and such time. So it is with disease. They'll be look at it and say, okay, based on this, and this is what you're likely to do. This is happening based on all of the research. That's why I don't think I know that healthcare is going to turn into research. And basically, they're going to pay you almost almost to clone you, but not, but almost that. Because basically, in order for us to give you this free healthcare, we need to do this research. And so this research means you are in communication with more of the robot. It's going to be the patient, the robot, and the doctor. Those that's your bridge to the new healthcare. Patient, robot, doctor. And the robot sits in the middle because you're not communicating with the doctor in this way that you were. You're communicating with the robot. Robot communicating with the doctor. Doctor sends it back down. And how that is working, why I say that, and you can see where that's going because you're getting more of into teledoc and going to doctor online and doing things on Zoom. That's connecting you with artificial intelligence. The robot is in the middle. Even though you're seeing them through the screen, you're still using technology that's in the center. Well, as you begin to need more and more procedures, that robot is going to be there. It's going to eventually come to the place where you're going into an empty hospital room and communicating. The robot is coming on orders of what is wrong, what the doctor has sent, and what the projections are. So when you go, and that the way we can start that is by going into medical, into the hospital. And when you first go into that hospital, all of those people sitting there to check you in, they need to, their job's gonna shift. We could technically shift them out, but if you don't want to get rid of all of those medical um, transcribers, or the people that's just taking information, then they can simply roll to the back to be assistants, and then they will need more training so that they can still be needed. If they don't want to do that, then we don't need you no more. But you don't need somebody sitting at the desk anymore saying, "Hello, welcome to Northside Hospital. What are you here for?" That's a waste of money. A waste of money, and it's a waste of time. And half of those, in my case, that's sitting there ain't nothing but career criminals anyway, because they're hooking me up to the hospital that I'm not even at. So this is why all of that coming in needs to be revamped, and a whole robot system needs to be there. And you get checked in on trauma levels. So obviously, if somebody has is bleeding and is gushing out, you're not gonna come in here this level. This is for maybe colds, diarrhea, or high blood pressure, or been in an accident or a sprain or something like that. If anything is oozing or you got any blood fluids coming out, you could go over here, and that's where those assistants can still be used, because now we might need that personal contact, but still we're going to have you go through artificial intelligent registration. And that allows you that if you're within certain many miles of the hospital, it will allow you to register from home and come in. That way you're not coming in there sitting all day long, farting and breathing in the emergency room, and ain't nobody called you yet. What you could do is, once you register in, it will tell you. So somebody sitting there and say, I don't know, she ate the wrong thing and she been, throwing up all day. Okay, so what it could do is say, uh, artificial intelligence, you going through a questionnaire, you going through to be seen, any other issues, it's pulling your chart with your permission from your doctor. This is that advanced medical care. The doctor's not taking your word anymore necessarily, because you might be lying to him. You don't might not want to come in here and tell him the whole truth. So he's going to have access. Can we have access to your chart wherever you at? So this is where that system is going to become unified. So where that system now becomes unified, what that doctor going to do is he going to say, all right, what the artificial intelligence going to do, he'll be able to pull that chart in them records in minutes. If he see that you are a diabetic or this, that, and other, and yet now you throwing up all of a sudden, then he's not going to recommend that you just be seen and let go. It may be something more going on. So what happens is, but if you don't have no prior history, ain't nothing going on, all your routine labs look good, you may just get some, what do you call it? Not nausea, Finnegan, something like that, and maybe get some electrolyte juice. May give you, depending on what your um culture values are, it may tell you, to do this. So you may take a holistic approach, but whatever is, you could get, you're being seen from the house. Now somebody might say that's very similar to teledoc. It is, but it's not. You're still going to the ER, but you're getting seen faster with more adequate service. You're still getting seen by a doctor, all from the confines of your own home. And if you need medicine, this is how beautiful that artificial intelligence, it will roll on over into Amazon, or roll on over into Walmart. I'm thinking that it's not going to be but at two places, Amazon and Walmart. And this is where jobs are going to come in, because now people are be saying, "Oh, I'm delivering medicine from the hospital." So once that scribe is written or whatever, it's already going to be filled, and somebody is going to pick it up, and then it's coming to you. So basically, what that is this offering you to say, I went to Northside Hospital, but I'm at home. I'm checked in. I'm waiting on the doctor to see me from home. Now, you might say, well, he's not, you're not necessarily waiting on him to see you from home, because if it's necessary, you're going to the hospital. You're just changing the way that you ER and using artificial intelligence. That because it may be more serious than just a teledoc visit. So what you're doing is still checking in if you live within a certain many miles, or let's say you near north side and you want to go get something to eat while you waiting, you going, let's say you got a sprained ankle and you know that you're going to need to be wrapped. Okay, what it's allowing you to do, you got several options. You can come in and you can sit down. They'll have a wheelchair waiting for you. Go up there and get it, check in, sit down, elevate your feet, wait until your number is called. You're already checked in. May offer you, a little sample Tylenol packs or something like that you could get. But basically, you're being seen with a mediator between you, the doctor, and the staff. And so, if you need labs, it's telling you you could go ahead and do this. When you come in, we're going to get ready for you. Come in the hospital and go ahead and go to the second floor. You already getting your labs versus waiting, getting checked in and sitting there waiting for them to say, "Come get your blood," and then go sit back out there for 2 or 3 more hours. It's pretty much telling you what your layout gonna be and your expected overall time based on what you there for and your medical history. And so that's making doctors more accountable, so that they're not giving somebody medication that shouldn't have it because they done lied and said, "Oh, they don't have no prior history of this." When they doctors, they going good, well, they go to the doctor and they just don't want to believe what the doctor said. So it's kind of keeping those cases of malpractice down too. And it's the main whole purpose of revamping that part of the ER is to minimize HIPAA violations. It's a violation to put somebody's whole name, birth date, social security number, all that on this wristband, and then tell them to go sit. That's a violation right there. It's a violation to have that color right there. It's a violation. Why? Because the colors could mean psychiatric. It could mean anything. So basically, you telling somebody's personal business without really telling it. Shouldn't be giving their name. The system is too advanced to still be calling Henry Wooten, come to the back for your labs. Henry Wooten, come to the back. No, we too advanced for that. So artificial intelligence can communicate through a number, through a text message, through a silent number at the top or automated number at the top. 43B in room 2. 43B in room 2. So once you look at your number or whatever, then you know that from here on, while you're in the hospital, you're 43B. Now, why is that important? That was important because when I went to the hospitals, I hate to keep calling the law because I don't want to get in too much trouble tonight with my talking, but they used to swap me with names. So they would be like, um, Henry, what they would call, what's a good name they would call? Um, Robert, Robert, Robert Wade, Robert, Robert Wade. And they would look at me and say, "You could come on." That's how they would get me. And then I would get up and Robert Wade, but they call Robert Wade, but you getting up. They wouldn't call no other name with me. And then sometimes at Gary, what is it, Gary Hospital? Gary. Grady, they used to, I said Gary, they used to be like Robert Wade, Shaniqua Moham, and Crystal Ketchup. And then you going next to Robert Wade. And they gonna say, Okay, here you go. They're gonna purposely do it like this. They're gonna have 3 rooms. They're gonna go to that back side, and they're gonna walk by all where all the police at and all the people with their diapers on, and where the police back there saying, "Come on in here," cause you get, where they back there with the they gonna walk me past them constantly, cause they want it to look like you just doing so much with the police, and they just keep seeing you. So they take me always to the rough side, where they going to jail, where they throwing poop on the police. They take me to that side. So they gonna say, all right, you go in here, and then I'm gonna go in room 2. And then they gonna come back and say, oh, no, 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 we made a mistake. No, I'm sorry. You going in 3. She's going in 3. Oh, she's going in 3. And they gonna say, Robert, you go in 2. So but they wait until you go in 2 to get that picture and get that and drop your bags, and then they gonna send Robert in there, and that's how they gonna do that. And then the doctor gonna come around and have his recorder on and his cell phone, and he gonna go between both of these rooms, but he's not gonna give no more break and no introduction. He gonna say, hello, Robert Wade, how you doing tonight? So you here because you're having a heart palpitation? How long it's been going on? So you having any tetanus? All right, all right. All right, so you see, you got some swelling in your legs. What's your diet like? All right, then he ain't gonna get no introduction. He just gonna come over there and talk to me, and he gonna say, "All right, so I got you all down." That's how they do it. Like I'm telling you, I know them like a book. He gonna come in there, he gonna give me no introduction. I don't get spoke to or nothing. He just looks straight at the chart and say, "All right, we got you some um Tylenol, and you'll be on your way." And that's how that's gonna work. They bleep out everything else, so it looked like you just had it's one long conversation between you and Robert Wade, and Robert Wade is being you with the symptoms that they want you to have, and then they're gonna blend y'all together, and they're gonna take that tape from his cell phone and mesh it together, and you gonna be Robert Wade, and what you came in here for ain't gonna work, and they're gonna swap them 2 rooms out, and that's what they gonna do. And when the nurse come bring the stuff, she gonna come in there and say, bring all the stuff for Robert Wade. She gonna bring the stuff to wrap up his legs. She gonna have all that in her arms, and she gonna come in there and say, all right, Miss Ketchup, so I got your stuff for you. You're all ready to go. But she's gonna be holding this stuff right here for Robert Wade, and she gonna say, all right, so we gonna take your here goes your Tylenol, and she gonna take all this stuff over here to Robert Wade. But she gonna say, all right, Miss Ketchup, I got all your stuff ready and you're all set to go, because she's really talking about the discharge papers, but she's insinuating that the stuff she's talking about is the stuff that's in her hand that's for Robert Wade, that's next to you in number 2, and you're in number 3. And they gonna wait and dismiss y'all at the same time, and because he is waiting on an Uber ride. And when you go out that door waiting on the Uber ride, they're gonna have that Uber ride waiting right there as soon as you meet, so them 2 can be a swap, and you could get there, and that's how that's gonna work. And that Uber ride is going to um, go along with that phone. So as that Uber ride get there, it's gonna be an indication and a break in that phone, and that's how they do it. So the purpose of recreating, redesigning the emergency room registration process is to eliminate fraud, to prevent HIPAA violations, and to protect both the patient and to protect the doctor and to protect the hospital, because the hospital is liable for every time that I went there and Grady took that thing and scanned my face and didn't do nobody else's, knowing that they were fully putting me in a system in another hospital where I was not at. Give me my money. I need my check, please. Grady. They know they are. And they did it every time, but didn't do nobody else's. I would go and they would say, let me take your picture now. Poop. Knowing good and well that them agents got that computer. That's an ATM. That's a cell phone. That's another hospital. You don't know where that camera is connected to when them people just aim that thing at you. They doing it on purpose, and they don't do it to nobody else. I bet you if you go to Grady Hospital right now, they ain't taking a picture of nobody else. Why are you taking a picture of Miss Ketchup? Because they know they put me in a system where I'm not at. So when I go and say I was never there, what is the objective? They're going to say you are a liar. Good. Now that we all know. So that's what they gonna do. That's why every time I went, they used to decorate it until Grady got tired of me. Grady can't stand me because I used to call him out. I used to say, I used to go on live and say they gonna go down there. They gonna have every time I go to Grady. This is exactly what they gonna do. They gonna have everybody gonna go in there and play a part. It's gonna be somebody peeing on themselves. It's gonna be somebody with a veteran's hat on. It's gonna be a prostitute in there. It's gonna be somebody on drugs. It's gonna be somebody homeless that got way too much going on. They gonna have everybody manged. They gonna have everybody dirty. They gonna have it looking like they gonna decorate the room with they gonna let now you know Grady is not gonna let you bring no Walmart buggy in there. They gonna allow it. They're gonna allow the Walmart buggy to be in there. They're gonna have it decorated with umbrellas from I bet you somebody laughing at me. They're gonna have umbrellas from like what go outside. They're gonna have a bunch of nuisance stuff, tire rims. They're gonna have just a bunch of stuff to just make it look like a nuisance. And they're gonna have me going there and they're gonna say when I wanna go sit where the normal people ain't gonna be but about one or two. They're not gonna let it look normal. They want it to look like a behavioral center. So, and when I want to go in there and sit by somebody that even look normal, they're gonna say, "Oh no, ma'am, you have to come over here," and they're gonna make you sit all together, and they're not gonna wash none of the seats. So when you go in there, you might be sitting in pee, feces, old food, and they're not gonna give you nothing to wipe it. They're not gonna spray. They're not gonna do nothing. Now, technically, the law by CDC says you're supposed to sit 6 feet apart. Grady is not gonna do none of that. If you don't follow their rules and do what them black girls tell you to do down there, they ain't gonna simply call the security guard. And I done seen them men. That man that I told them on that man that was here in 2023. I said that man was fighting them people in there. I ain't never seen nothing like that. I told that lady, I went and told on them in person. I did. That was traumatizing. I said, "You ever seen Grady at night? Y'all could have a whole show. Y'all could have a show and people would watch it." I said, "You ain't never came in here. It's called Grady After Dark." And that lady said, "What they be doing?" And I said, "Girl, it ain't no hospital. I tell you that." I said, "It's a circus." I said, "When they come in here, I said them security guards be fighting them people, and they be them girls tell them to do whatever they want to do. That if they don't like you, you ain't getting seen. If them people come in here and they be tired, they be drunk, whatever the situation is, they don't clean up nothing." I said they be calling out, they be seeing people right in the emergency room in their chair, um, being ghetto and running that, doing whatever they want to do in that thing. And that lady said, "Really?" And I said, "Run the cameras back from last night and look at it." When I went back there again, the security man was gone. They had got a whole nother security staff because I said, "Listen to what they be telling you when you come in the door. They don't talk to you like you at no hospital." And listen, look at them ghetto girls, especially that light skinned one with that colored hair. Oh, that chick is off the chain. That chick off the chain. You think you going? They run it like they running a prison jail for people coming to. Yes, they run it like that. And I told on them, and that lady said, I said, "I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life. It was traumatizing to watch. It's a show. Y'all need a movie and somebody with a camera, and to just show what y'all be really doing. And that's supposed to be healthcare. Child, please." So that is why that system needs to be redone. I overcame every strategy that the law used. I took the wristbands out. I took the criminal out at the other side of the thing. I took them labels off, printing labels, and no, not doing that because they was doing that to me. So I redid everything that they did, and I took away the choice. See, a robot is not designed to make a choice on whether a person can be seen sit in the ER or not. When I go to North Side or you go to Grady, they making a choice. Them people choosing if they gonna see you or not, which is a violation, but they don't care because you're black. What at the most are you gonna be able to do? Nothing. Gotta be white. They know that. So if they not gonna do it to a white person, they not gonna tell a white person you ain't finna be seen tonight because you was just here Tuesday. They wish you would. But if you black, I done heard them. You ain't finna get seen up in here. Nah, because the doctor just told you. The doctor just told you. That's how they be talking at Grady. And turning them people around. That's against the law. But this is what they do. And they do it at Grady. Especially that North Side. That white lady with that blonde hair, with that ponytail. You ain't coming up in there without her approval. She wants to really just see the rich people. She don't really want no black people coming up in there. And she takes that personal. She done been there a long time. And she think that that little registration area is hers. And she really only wants to see her own kind. And white people that's really coming up there with good insurance that really need to be seen. That's what she want to do. She don't really want them kind coming up in there. Oh no, in the coming in there today. Take him out. I done seen her do it before, and I told on her too. She did it in January, February when they stuck that black boy, and I don't know what they did to him. That is a link because Gwanda wouldn't talk about it. I called Gwanda. I said, "Let me see what that." Jesus. Oh, Lord. I done talked myself up into something. What hospital would be closest to Beaufort, Georgia prison? That was Corey. And they swapped us. Oh, oh my Lord. I'm a tell. I was at, this was, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, oh, wait a minute. Oh,